print disability, which makes reading, holding a book, or turning a page difficult or impossible. The content is copyrighted by the respective publishers. For more information, please visit us on the web at nfradioreading.org.
Around Our Area continues now on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. Your reader for this hour is Sally Herzog. And we go to our first paper, the Southtowns Bee, and this is the West Seneca, Orchard Park, and East Aurora newspapers. It's the Thursday, May 21st, 2026 edition. We go to our first article. Southtown school budgets pass. BOE incumbents retained. This is by Eric Kepler. There were plenty of smiles in the East Senior Gymnasium when the ballots were tallied on Tuesday evening, as voters easily approved all three measures that had been put forth by the West Seneca Central School District. We are really working to do some amazing things here in West Seneca that will enhance the educational experience for our students, said West Seneca School Superintendent Dr. Lisa Kruger. We had an overwhelming positive night tonight, and I am grateful to our community for their support. West Seneca has had the only contested race in the Southtowns for 3 seats on its Board of Education, and all 3 of the incumbents prevailed handily. Laura Sokol-Scott, 1,176 votes, Sarah Pawarzek, 1,118, and Lorene Berlik at 982, all retained their seats on the school board. I think this shows that people are happy with the direction that we've taken with the board and the strategic planning that we've done in the district, said Sokol-Scott. We're happy to continue working together and making sure we do what's best for our students. Kenneth Thompson had 669 votes and Brian Crosby had 576 votes. There were 19 write-ins. We're looking forward to keep the progress going and keep moving forward, said Pawarzek. Proposition 1 was the budget for the 2026-27 school year, which passed by a 1276 to 530 margin. Proposition 2 was to approve a capital improvement project that passed by a count of 1245 to 514. I think we've got a superintendent with great vision, Barlick said. All of us are on board to keep West Seneca strong and moving forward. In Orchard Park, the budget was approved by a margin of 758 to 206, and the bus purchase proposition passed 776 to 186. There were only 3 candidates for the 3 open seats on the Board of Education. Aaron Andal received 823 votes, Edward Draves had 816, and Tawana Klaas had 799. In the Iroquois Central School District, the budget passed by a margin of 585 to 191, and the second proposition for vehicle replacement was approved by 584 to 191 vote. There were only 2 candidates for the 2 open seats on the Board of Education. David Lowry received 633 votes, and Caitlin Letizia had 572. In East Aurora, the budget was approved by a margin of 584 to 462, and the proposition for a technology equipment upgrade from the reserve fund passed by 734 to 299 vote. There were only 3 candidates for the 3 open seats on the Board of Education. Joanne Ryan received 466, Dan Brunson had 368, and Paul Blowers had 363. There were 45 write-in votes. Seneca Nation commemorates signing of Buffalo Creek Treaty. Seneca Nation leaders gathered with local officials and neighbors on Friday to commemorate the importance of the Buffalo Creek Treaty of 1842, which helped to shape the history of both the Seneca Nation and Western New York. The treaty restored Seneca possession of the nation's Cattaraugus and Allegheny territories after an earlier manipulated treaty attempted to stake claim to all Seneca lands and relocate the Seneca people to present-day Kansas. The annual event took place at the Charles E. Birchfield Nature and Arts Center in West Seneca, which stands in the vicinity of where the historic agreement between the Seneca Nation and the United States was signed. It's important that people, Seneca and non-Seneca alike, understand and are reminded of the importance of the 1842 Buffalo Creek Treaty, excuse me, which stands for what it protects and what it guarantees, said Seneca Nation President J. Conrad. Seneca, without this treaty and the unshakable resilience of our ancestors who fought for it, the Seneca Nation and Western New York would be far different and far less vibrant today. It is because of this treaty that we are still here on our ancestral homelands, where we continue to impact and influence our entire region and build a strong future for our next generation. The Seneca Nation has made numerous contributions to the history, culture, and economy of Western New York, and today stands as one of the region's most significant economic engines. Between its gaming enterprises, other businesses, and government operations, the Seneca Nation provides an economic impact to Western New York of nearly $2 billion annually, providing thousands of different jobs and supporting thousands of others through business relationships and a wide network of vendors, suppliers, and contractors locally and across New York State. The Buffalo Creek Treaty of 1842 further affirmed that the Seneca Nation will never be subject to taxation on Indian-owned land. Article 9 of the treaty clearly states that the United States agrees to protect such lands of the Seneca within the state of New York as may from time to time remain in their possession from all taxes and assessments for roads, highways, and other purposes until such land shall be sold and conveyed by said Indians, and possession thereof shall be relinquished by them. Today, the Seneca Nation consists of several district territories, including the Allegheny Territory, 31,095 acres along the Allegheny River, including the city of Salamanca. The Cattaraugus Territory, 22,011 acres of land along Cattaraugus Creek near Lake Erie. The Old Spring Territory, 1 square mile in Cuba, New York, ancestral land on Skillon Street in Buffalo, site of the Buffalo Creek Community Center. Tadakin, approximately 39 acres of land in the town of Mendon, 59 acres of land in downtown Niagara Falls, where Seneca Nation Resort and Casino is located, and 9 acres in downtown Buffalo, where Seneca Buffalo Creek Casino is located. Late last year, the nation has acquired 207 acres of ancestral homeland on Grand Island. Nearly 200 years after the government tried to completely remove the Seneca people from our homeland, our nation is strong and growing, Seneca added. With each step forward, we are protecting our sovereignty and improving not just the quality of life for our people, but also the economic strength and vitality of Western New York. That is why we return to Buffalo Creek every year, in order to recognize how our ancestors fought to make this possible. Mark Memorial Day. This year marks the 160th anniversary of the first observance of Memorial Day, an American holiday honoring service members who died in military service. Originally known as Decoration Day, it started in 1866, right after the Civil War, when communities from both sides began to decorate the graves of fallen soldiers with flowers and flags as a symbol of healing. It became a federal holiday in 1971 and has evolved into a staple of solemn celebration with parades and ceremonies, and the Southtowns are no exception. Easter Aurora, a procession commenced at 10:15 a.m. on Monday at Hamlin Park on Prospect Avenue and proceeded to the Oakland Cemetery for a memorial service. Following the service, the Aurora Casanova VFW Post 205, 1 Legion Drive at Center Street, East Aurora, hosted an annual chicken barbecue from noon until sold out. In Elma, the town of Elma held a parade at 9 a.m. Monday, heading out from the Elma Public Library, 1860 Bowen Road, and proceeding to the Elma Town Hall. A ceremony organized by Elma Kiwanis Club followed. In Holland, veterans and guests gathered at 10 a.m. Monday by the Holland Junior Senior High School, 103 Canada Street. Participants walked to the Town Park and Community Center on Legion Drive. The Legion is having a chicken barbecue from 11 a.m. until sold out, also located at Town Park Community Center. And in Marilla, memorial service will be held at 10 a.m. Saturday, May 30th at the Lower Cemetery and 10:30 a.m. at the Upper Cemetery, followed by a parade at 11 a.m. Following the parade and ceremony, food trucks will be set up at the pavilion behind the Marilla Town Hall on Two Rod Road. Orchard Park. The Orchard Park Memorial Day Parade began at 9 a.m. Monday, hosted by the local VFW Post 6247 and American Legion Post 567. Participants assembled by 8:30 behind the Orchard Park Library. The procession headed north on South Buffalo Street to the Four Corners turned left onto West Quaker Street. It ended at Veterans Memorial Park, where a ceremony took place. In Wales, the town hosted a ceremony at 11 a.m. Monday at Veterans Memorial next to the Wales Town Hall on Route 20A. In West Falls, the lineup for the parade began at 9 a.m. and started promptly at 10. It began at Beam Road and ended with a brief ceremony at Veterans Park. There were hot dogs and desserts available at the West Falls Fire Hall immediately after the ceremony. And in West Seneca, the annual Memorial Day Parade and ceremony, sponsored by the West Seneca Joint Veterans Committee, began at 10:30 a.m. Monday, when marchers stepped off in the Southgate Plaza near NBT Bank in West Seneca. Participants marched north on Union Road to the West Seneca Town Hall, where units gathered at the Walkway of Freedom in Veterans Park for an annual ceremony to honor those who died in the service for our country. Other ceremonies: Forest Lawn Group Cemeteries, in collaboration with Western New York veterans organizations, presented annual Memorial Day ceremonies to honor, recognize, and salute deceased military veterans. In West Seneca, the American Legion Jesse Clipper Post 430 hosted a ceremony at 11 a.m. in the Field of Valor at St. Matthew's Cemetery at 180 French Road. Other ceremonies took place at Lakeside Cemetery, 4810 Camp Road in Hamburg, Forest Lawn at 1990 Main Street in Buffalo, and Williamsville Cemetery at 5402 Main Street. Orchard Park adding stop sign to Birdsong Estates intersection. This is by Justin Sullivan. During the Town of Orchard Park's Board May 7th meeting, the board approved a new stop sign on the corner of Woodbrush Trail at the intersection of Kestrel Court in the Birdsong Estates in Orchard Park. The approval, unanimously adopted, was also recommended by the Orchard Park Police Chief, Greg Shepard. Town Highway Superintendent Andrew Scottman, and Town Engineer Wayne Byler, according to the meeting minutes. The push for stop signs is an ongoing effort of the Birdsong Estates Homeowners Association, as residents of the subdivision witnesses the community growing following its fourth and fifth expansion last year. While Homeowners Association manager, private community covenants, and some landscaping, officials say signs and speed limits are under the jurisdiction of the Town Highway Department and local law enforcement and involve no state fee. The new stop sign adds to several new stop signs established at intersections throughout the community in recent years. Under the changes, drivers traveling on Blue Heron Drive are now required to stop at the intersections of Birdsong Parkway and Woodbrush Trail. Traffic on Woodbrush Trail must stop at Blue Heron Drive, while motorists on Mallard Lane are required to stop at the intersection of Birdsong Parkway. The suburban residential subdivision has continued to expand in stand-alone phases since opening in 2001, historically dividing community members as recent as last year, when the Birdsong Estates Homeowners Association vocally opposed the Lexington Heights subdivision. Birdsong Estates' fourth and fifth additions, located west of Transit Road and north of Jewett-Homewood Road, which required a rezoning. The Homeowners Association proposed Lexington Heights not be part of the existing Birdsong Estates subdivision, because of the latter community consisting of single-family houses that are different price points from Lexington Heights, proposed patio homes, which would require a different homeowners association. The Homeowners Association opposition prompted a lengthy review, which ultimately led to the fourth and fifth phases, separating and reducing from 429 to 406 lots, and developer Birdsong Lakes LLC building single-family homes in Lexington Heights rather than patio homes, without publicly accessible roadway connections between the two subdivisions, according to past coverage from the Orchard Park Bee. Orchard Park residents requesting a stop sign must go through the town's 7-member Public Safety Committee, which meets at 6 p.m. the third Tuesday of every month. The town board's next meeting work session is scheduled for 6 p.m. Wednesday, May 21st. Local top stores accepting worn American flags to retire. Several local top stores, including the Orchard Park store at 3201 Southwestern Boulevard and the West Seneca store at 355 Orchard Park and 800 Harlem Roads, are once again participating in the company's Stars for Our Troops initiative through Sunday, June 14th, which will also be Flag Day in the United States ahead of the country's 250th anniversary. The program, which began May 10th, welcomes the community to donate their worn and tattered American flags at select Tops Markets locations for proper retirement, in collaboration with partner veterans organizations, including Honor Flight and local VFWs. Embroidered stars will be properly laundered through a partnership with Colvin Cleaners, preserved and presented to local veterans who have defended our flag. When stars are removed and presented to a veteran at local VA hospitals, nursing homes, and placed in Honor Flight care packages, the following messages is tucked along with each star. The respect and gratitude we have for people who serve and have served our country is immeasurable, and for that we are forever grateful, said Kathy Sauter, Director for Corporate Communication and Public Relations for TOPS. With this being America's semi-quincentennial, we felt it was the perfect time to welcome this program back to the community, as Americans may be refreshing the flags they display in front of their homes. When TOPS last hosted the Stars for Our Troops collection in 2019, it collected over 3,000 flags for proper retirement, many which customers had tucked away in their attics and garages for decades, and expressed gratitude for the opportunity to properly retire their flag. We are happy and proud to play a role in the Stars for Our Troops program. American flags are always cleaned for free at Colvin Cleaners, but whenever we have a chance to do something for our veterans, we always answer the call, said Christopher Bolani, Vice President of Colvin Cleaners. The following local TOPS Friendly Markets locations, as well as TOPS corporate office in Williamsville and TOPS warehouse in Lancaster and West Seneca, will collect and have collection bins in their vestibule for the American flag retirement. In Amherst at 3980 Maple Road, also in Amherst at 9660 Transit Road, at 658 West Main Street in Arcade, 390 West Main Street in Batavia, 2101 Elmwood Avenue in Buffalo, 3865 Union Road in Cheektowaga, 5175 Broadway in Depew, 6914 Erie Road in Derby, 3955 Vineyard Drive in Dunkirk, 2140 Grand Island Boulevard in Grand Island, 6150 South Park Avenue in Hamburg, 5827 South Transit Road in Lockport, 3949 Lockport, Alcott Road in Lockport, 11200 Maple Ridge Road in Medina, 7200 Niagara Falls Boulevard in Niagara Falls, 2401 West State Road in Olean, 150 Niagara Street in Tonawanda, and 5274 Main Street, Union Road. For more information on the program, visit www.topsmarkets.com/stars for our troops. Park Garden Club programs recognized. This is by Justin Sullivan. Ahead of hosting another successful plant sale at the Orchard Park Library last weekend, the Orchard Park Garden Club was recognized with 3 honors by the Federated Garden Clubs of New York State, District 8, celebrating the club's contributions to community beautification, historic preservation, and outreach efforts across Orchard Park. During a district luncheon last month, the nonprofit club received the Garden Therapy Award for its work with residents at Senior Living Community Fox Run of Orchard Park, where members organize a monthly art class featuring creative hands-on activities designed to foster connection and enrichment. Located at 1 Fox Run Lane, the community offers independent assisted memory care and skilled nursing living options, in addition to offering rehabilitation. A Historic Preservation Award recognized the club's holiday decorating efforts at Orchard Park's historic Dr. Joel's House, Johnson Joel's Complex, located at 4287 South Buffalo Street. Built in 1870 by Civil War-era merchant Ambrose Johnson, the property served as the home and practices of one of the area's most prominent country doctors, Dr. William B. Joels, and now serves as the home of the Orchard Park Historical Society. The OPGC's efforts complement the meticulously preserved three-suite property featuring equipment from an era when a general practitioner also handled dentistry, psychiatry, and ophthalmology. Finally, the club earned a Landscape Design Award for maintaining the flower garden at a prominent village intersection outside the Mangia Restaurante at 4264 North Buffalo Street, helping create a colorful and welcoming gateway within the community. Chaired by resident member Wendy Zabesny, the club's volunteer members meet from 10 until 11 a.m. every Wednesday to weed and deadhead the garden. Club leaders said the awards highlight how garden club projects extend beyond gardening itself by preserving local history, enhancing public spaces, encouraging civic pride, and creating opportunities for meaningful community engagement. Founded in 1976, the OPGC currently has more than 80 members and continues to expand to the broader gardening community. For more information on the OPGC, its programs, or gardening resources, visit www.opgardenclub.org. The 100 Deadliest Days for Teen Driving. This is a B editorial. Memorial Day is the unofficial start to summer, and Labor Day is the unofficial end to summer. According to AAA of Western and Central New York, the 100 days in between those two holidays are the deadliest for teen drivers. The 100 Deadliest Days is the period between Memorial Day and Labor Day, when fatal teen crashes increase dramatically, according to AAA. The agency coined the phrase after examining troubling data regarding fatal crashes among teen drivers. In the days following Memorial Day, there are several celebratory events in teens' life, including proms and graduations. It is during this time that tragic stories emerge in the media of teens being killed in vehicle crashes in the days leading up to and after prom and graduation. In recent years, there have been fatal crashes that killed teens in Williamsville, Lancaster, and a triple fatality near the University of Buffalo campus. Speed and inexperience were the major factors in these crashes. Nationwide, 6,697 people died in teen driver-related summertime crashes over a 10-year period from 2013 to 2022, according to the AAA. That is nearly half of the total number of those killed in teen driver crashes for the entire rest of the year in a span. In 2022 alone, 707 people were killed in such deadly crashes. The 202 figure is a 10% increase over pre-pandemic figures from 2019. In New York State, 13 people were killed in crashes involving teen drivers in the summer of 2022, according to AAA, and 151 people were killed in teen driver crashes during the 100 Deadliest Days over a 10-year span from 2013 to 2022. 151 people killed during summer months over a 10-year span equates to a summertime average of 15 deaths. It's a dramatic increase from 274 people killed over the course of 9 non-summer months over a 10-year period. Due to their inexperience, teen drivers are at a higher risk of crashes. According to the AAA Foundation for Traffic Safety Culture Index, about 72% of teen drivers aged 16 to 19 admitted to having engaged in at least one of the following risky behaviors, such as driving over the speed limit, texting while driving, running red lights, not wearing a seatbelt, aggressive driving, and drowsy driving. AAA encourages parents to talk with teens early and often about avoiding dangerous behavior behind a wheel, such as speeding, impairment, and distracted driving. Serve as a role model for such behavior. Always buckle up and follow posted speed limits. Teach by example. minimize risky behavior, conduct at least 50 hours of supervised practice driving with their teens, and make a parent-teen driving agreement setting family rules for driving. And before we move to our next paper, we'd like to tell you you're listening to Around Our Area on the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service. And we move on to The Sun, and this is the Friday, May 22nd, 2026 edition. And we go to our first article, 10 Lies Club to face public hearing in an attempt to transform former Gentlemen's Club to a cat rescue service building. This is by Chris Graham. The 10 Lies Club Adoption Group, fresh off receiving a use variance for an existing building at 3747 Lakeshore Road from the Town of Hamburg Zoning Board of Appeals, is now set to come before the Town of Hamburg Planning Board for a public hearing, as it plans to turn a former Gentlemen's Club into a cat rescue service building and cat cafe. The club needed to acquire a use variance because rescue services was not an approved use in the M3 zone. The building, adjacent to the club's main shelter on Lakeshore Road, previously housed the Stiletto Club. The plan, first brought to the Planning Board's attention in February, would see the club purchase the building through private funding from one of its donors. Once the building is acquired, the club is expected to use the building to enhance its cat care services. The first floor is expected to be used as a retail facility or cat cafe. The second floor of the building would be used for senior cat shelters. But before the public hearing is held, Planning Board members want to know if the cat cafe is part of the plan for the building. Planning Board Chair Cynthia Grenachin said when representatives previously spoke to the board, they weren't 100% sure if the cat cafe would be part of the plan because there wasn't a tenant yet. I think that given there was a gray area the last time they were here, I think we should have the applicant specify what she's doing, Grenachin said. I would want that spelled out. Club representatives will be back in front of the Planning Board on Wednesday, June 3rd. At that meeting, representatives will further explain the use for the building and the public hearing will be held. Mason's Grill closes in Village of Hamburg after 23 years of service. Mason's Grill, a fixture at 52 Main Street in the Village of Hamburg, has closed after serving the community for 23 years. The final day of operation was May 14th. This decision was not made lightly, and it comes with a mix of emotions, gratitude above all else, the Air family said in a post announcing the closure. Thank you to every customer who supported us, every employee who gave their heart to this restaurant, and every person who walked through our doors over the last two plus decades. You helped build something truly special. We are excited for what the next chapter will bring. We know that the Village of Hamburg will support and welcome the new occupants of this historic space, the same way you did for us. Village of Angola selects projects for New York Forward funding. This is by Chris Gordon. An announcement on what projects were awarded funding through the New York Forward grant was made by Village of Angola Mayor Thomas Whalen during the Angola Village Board meeting on May 11th. It's really a good thing, I think, Whalen said about the $4.5 million grant that was initially announced almost a year ago. The largest amount was for over $1.2 million for a mixed-use development at 27 North Main Street. That will be used for such things as housing on the upper floor, development of the commercial space, and improving parking in the rear of the building. Other projects include $808,000 toward improvements in parks and recreation. This includes upgrades at Centennial Park, Frawley Park, and the Parklet on North Main Street. The work will include improved lighting, pathways, new playground equipment, landscaping, accessible bathrooms, as well as gathering places. Also, $551,000 will be used for work at 29 Commercial Street. This includes a first-floor restaurant, accessibility upgrades, as well as outdoor seating. Part of the cost will go toward the restoration of the historic building. Azalea's Juicery at 77 North Main Street will receive $804,000 toward the expansion. This work will include expansion of the dining, expanding of production, as well as rear patio parking, and to assist with the Peaceful Soul Farmers Market. A total of $303,000 was awarded to help convert the former 1919 fire hall into a restaurant and banquet facility. This is located at 71 North Main Street. And $188,000 will go toward converting the site of the former Winmer Hotel at 37 Commercial Street into a tavern and event space. The money will also assist with installing a rear patio and restoration of the facade. Additionally, $600,000 was granted for the establishment of a fund for small projects. These will be given as part of the matching grant program to assist other businesses in the village for renovations and building improvements that lay within the New York Forward area. The mayor offered his gratitude to Village Clerk Treasurer Nicole Leopard for her hard work in the success of getting the grant awarded to Angola. "We can't thank her enough," Wayland said. The state initially announced that Angola was chosen to receive the money back in the spring of 2025. A committee was formed that met monthly through October, which helped make decisions on who they thought should be considered. Town of Hamburg Police Department taking part in Buckle Up New York Click It or Ticket campaign. The Buckle Up New York Click It or Ticket mobilization is ongoing in Hamburg and throughout Erie County through Sunday, May 31st. Numerous lives have been saved since the campaign began in 1999. Thanks to the sustained efforts of law enforcement, seatbelt compliance at 92%. However, there's always work to be done when it comes to driving down the number of unrestrained fatalities on highways. Recent legislative efforts have strengthened the adult seatbelt requirements. While this will increase restraint use by some occupants, it is not the only element for changing behavior. Police agencies, including the Town of Hamburg Police Department, are encouraged to incorporate education and engagement into high-visibility enforcement efforts throughout the initiative. Throughout the enforcement period, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration will be promoting the campaign with public service announcements on television and radio. During this period, the Governor's Traffic Safety Committee will be sharing social media posts on Facebook and X. Big Tree's Living Wax Museum brings to life famous immigrants, past and present. The fourth grade classes of Big Tree Elementary School conducted their annual Living Wax Museum on May 8th. Since 2019, fourth graders at Big Tree have participated in the annual event that brings history to life. As part of the New York State Social Studies curriculum, fourth graders study immigration and the many individuals and groups who helped shape the state and the United States. Through the Living Wax Museum project, students research historical figures connected to immigration and share their stories through interactive presentations that make those famous people come alive. The experience provides a creative and engaging way for students to deepen their understanding of history while building research, writing, and public speaking skills. The project has become a highlight for both students and staff at Big Tree because it encourages students to take ownership of their learning and present their knowledge in an authentic and meaningful way. By stepping into the role of historical figures, students gain confidence while sharing their learning with peers, families, and school community in a unique format that extends beyond the traditional classroom experience. NYSEG RG&E advanced effort to move gas meters outdoors. New York State Electric and Gas and Rochester Gas and Electric are advancing efforts to relocate natural gas meters from inside homes and businesses to safer, more accessible outdoor locations as part of the ongoing commitment to customer experience, public safety, emergency preparedness, and reliable gas service. Relocating gas meters outdoors is one of the most effective ways we can improve safety for our customers and our communities, said Tom Scapitici, Vice President of Gas Engineering and Operations for NYSEG and RG&E. Exterior meters provide immediate access in an emergency, eliminate delays caused by inaccessible locations, and allows our crews to complete critical inspections and maintenance without disrupting customers. Across New York, thousands of natural gas meters are currently located inside homes and businesses, reflecting how gas systems were designed and built over many decades. Today, approximately 35% of RG&E gas meters and 18% of NYSEG gas meters remain indoors. Relocating these meters to exterior locations improves accessibility for routine work and emergency response, helping crews and first responders act more quickly and efficiently when it matters most. Over time, these upgrades also reduce the need for in-home visits and make it easier for complete important inspections and maintenance with minimal disruption to customers. NYSEG and RG&E work every day to deliver natural gas safely and reliably to homes and businesses across New York, the company said. This includes regular system checks, maintenance work, and ongoing upgrades to keep the system performing as expected. Improvements like moving meters outside are one more way the companies are helping make service easier, more accessible, and more responsive for customers and communities. For most customers, meter relocation can be completed with little or no disruption. NYSEG and RG&E work directly with property owners to contribute timing or to coordinate timing, location, and access in a way that minimizes inconvenience. Customers will receive advance notice before work begins, and trained crews will work efficiently to safely complete the relocation and restore service as quickly as possible. Those interested in relocating their meter can call RG&E at 1-800-743-2110 or NYSEG at 1-800-572-1111 to learn more and discuss the next steps. Frontier's Big Picture Academy celebrates the Roaring Twenties. The junior class at Frontier's Big Picture Academy read The Great Gatsby in English class. To capture the spirit of the book, students put together a Gatsby-themed party for the entire school. Students listened to music from the 1920s, played card games, and enjoyed food prepared by Frontier's Farm-to-School coordinator Marletta Stronsberry and others. This was the second annual event. The students decided that the culmination of their learning on the subject would be demonstrated through a school-wide party that would mirror those thrown by Jay Gatsby, said Big Picture Principal Danielle Kalinsky. The goal is to be more ambitious each and every year. The junior class looks forward to planning and hosting the event. Students are given full autonomy over the decorations, food, drinks, and physical layout of the event. With the help of staff from throughout the building, such as Stransberry and the kitchen staff, the event was even bigger this year, with students being served sliders, a nacho bar, a fruit punch fountain, and mac and cheese bites. Students also help prepare the dishes. It has become an all hands on deck affair, Kalinsky said. Frontier's Tri-M chapter presents chamber concert. The Frontier High School chapter of the Tri-M Music Honor Society organized and presented a chamber concert showcasing musicians. The event featured a wide variety of small ensembles ranging from duets and trios to larger chamber groups, each performing independently on stage. The program highlighted diverse styles and instrumentation, offering audience members a concert experience containing pieces by composers ranging from Bach and Beethoven to John Lennon and Megadeth. In addition to celebrating the accomplishments of the high school musicians, the concert also welcomed participating groups from Frontier Middle School, providing younger students with the opportunity to perform alongside and learn from more experienced peers. The Society supports and promotes music education through student-led initiatives. Langworthy joins with Roswell Park Pediatric Cancer Families to hail passage of Give Kids a Chance Act. Representative Nick Langworthy recently joined with leaders from Roswell Park Comprehensive Cancer Center, pediatric cancer advocates, and local families to celebrate the enactment of the Give Kids a Chance Act, bipartisan legislation signed into law earlier this year as part of the Consolidated Appropriation Act of 2026. The legislation strengthens research and development efforts for rare pediatric diseases and childhood cancers by expanding the Food and Drug Administration's authority to support innovative pediatric drug development, reauthorizing the Rare Pediatric Disease Priority Review Voucher Program, and increasing accountability for companies conducting pediatric studies. As a father, I cannot imagine what parents of children battling cancer are going through, Langworthy said. The fear, the uncertainty, and the helplessness these families carry every single day is something no parent should ever have to experience. That's why I was proud to throw my full support behind the Give Kids a Chance Act. This law helps deliver hope to families by expanding research opportunities, encouraging investment in pediatric treatments, and helping more children gain access to cutting-edge therapies. We will not rest until we find better treatments, better outcomes, and ultimately cures. Langworthy, a member of the House Energy and Commerce Committee and its Health Subcommittee, has made combating pediatric illness and rare diseases a major focus during his time in Congress, including efforts to expand newborn screening for Krabs disease. The Give Kids a Chance Act allows the FDA to require or permit studies of new pediatric cancer drugs in combination with already approved therapies, helping ensure children are not left behind in the drug development process. The law also continues critical funding for pediatric research through the National Institute of Health and provides greater certainty for companies investing in treatments for rare diseases affecting small patient populations. For families facing childhood cancer, research is not abstract. It is how our physicians at Roswell Park offer the best therapies for our patients. said Dr. Cara Kelly, chair of the Roswell Park Golisano Children's Buffalo Cancer and Blood Disorders Program, and the Waldemar J. Kaminsky Endowed Chair of Pediatrics at Roswell Park Comprehensive Cancer Center. The Give Kids a Chance Act helps ensure that promising cancer therapies are tested and developed specifically for children and that kids are not left behind by a system built for adults. This kind of legislation is essential to delivering faster, safer, and more effective treatments for kids, directly helping our Western New York community. Trocaire College announces scholarships for new nursing veterinary technology students this fall. To address the increasing need for nurses and veterinary technicians in Western New York, Trocaire College announced the availability of scholarships for new fall 2026 applicants. New Trocaire students who commit to the licensed practical nurse, registered nurse, or veterinary technology programs starting in the fall of 2026 will be eligible for up to $2,000 for nursing and up to $3,000 for veterinary technology. This funding opportunity would be available annually to both full and part-time students who remain continuously enrolled in their respective program and meet academic requirements. As an opportunity college, Trocaire understands the financial burden for many individuals interested in pursuing a new path and the academic requirements needed to achieve their career goals, said Jason Conesco, Executive Vice President and Chief Operating Officer at the college. The demand for qualified nurses and veterinary technicians shows no sign of slowing down, and we are committed to helping educate and train the next generation of professionals in these fields. This is a limited time opportunity with applications for both nursing and veterinary technology due by Wednesday, July 15th for the fall semester. To be eligible, students must meet all admission requirements for the program. Scholarships will be prorated based on semester credit hours, with the maximum per academic year being $2,000 for nursing and $3,000 for veterinary technology. Eligible students who file for financial aid may also be considered for additional Trocaire grants and scholarships. For more details and to apply, visit trocaire.edu/admissions and aid. Apply. th Annual Hamburg Music Festival. The array of musical stylings and artists made their way to the village of Hamburg for the 17th Annual Hamburg Music Festival. The two-day event went from 4 until 10 p.m. Friday, May 29th, and noon to 10 p.m. on Saturday, May 30th, at Memorial Park. Ideally, they'll come both nights, said Luke Mombach, president of the festival. This is the second year the festival will be a two-day event. On Friday, In My Life will perform at 4 p.m., Kenny Park Project will perform at 5, Antler Pipe will perform at 6, Woody Tabor will perform at 7, and Uncle Ben's Remedy will perform at 8:30 p.m. On Saturday, School at Rock will perform at noon, Brass Machine at 2, Cami Clune and The Fridge will perform at 3, Young Buffalo will perform at 4, Rock Angel will host at 5, 10 Cent Howl will perform at 6, PA Line will perform at 7, and the Strictly Hip will perform at 8:30 p.m. The genres and types of music is different each night, Mombach said. A wristband for admittance to the festival is $25 for a one-day pass, $35 for a two-day pass. The sale of the wristbands will see the festival, a nonprofit organization, help the community through scholarships and grants. It's a win-win, Mombach said. A wristband can be purchased at the festival website or participating venues such as 174 Buffalo, Alchemy Wine and Beer, Coyote Cafe, East Eden Tavern, the Fox Club Pub, Mimosas, Hamburg Moose Lodge, Pelicano Vineyard, Pierce Avenue Bar and Grill, the Poorhouse, and the West End Inn. With 12 plus venues participating, by also having music during the 2-day festival, more than 40 bands will make their way to Hamburg. The big appeal is the number of venues and stages, said Mumbach, on why people should make the festival a destination during the last weekend in May. It gives us a huge variety. For more information on the festival, visit hamburgmusicfestival.com. You've been listening to Around Our Area, a weekly look at community newspapers from around Western New York. Your reader for this hour has been Sally Herzog. Thank you so much for listening.
Coming up next in the Niagara Frontier Radio Reading Service, we have the Ampol Eagle. At 4 o'clock, we have the Grand Island Niagara County Tribune Sentinel. And following that, at 5 o'clock, we have the Lockport Union Sun and Journal. Stay with us for these readings and more throughout the day. The following program is intended for listeners who are blind, have low vision, or have another print disability